Flight Boss, bitch. And this is the mind of an Antares moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I've been sent here to carry out God's duties and responsibilities. And this video right here is the introduction to the Earth astrology, because I don't see a lot of I don't see the Earth sign being in natal chart calculations, natal chart calculators, birth chart interpretations, and none of that. Nobody includes the 8th planet. They only focus on the 7 planets. And by these humans being on Earth and just now receiving this information, they think they're going deep, but being naive to the fact that the ground you walk on is also a planet that also is carrying the energy just as well as the other 7 planets, which is Venus, Mars, Saturn, you know what I'm saying, so on and so on, you know what I'm saying, Jupiter. So Earth, the same way Venus has love, the same way Mars has aggression, the same way Jupiter has wisdom, the same way Saturn has practicality, is the same way Earth has physicality. And this is why, as a human, you're able to be manifested on Earth in a physical term, in a physical form. Now, Venus had this power. Maybe humans would have evolved on Venus. But the love energy itself is from Venus. So if you see something physical on Venus, then you know something from Earth been on Venus. If you see something that you love on Earth, then you know that energy equated from Venus and is on Earth. So let's get into it now. Alright, boom. Now, I wrote this shit down because this really need to be interpreted in basic. I need people to spread this video because this is supreme knowledge right here. Everybody need to know their Earth sign. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Now, Tara, Gaia, aka Earth, represents this is like the energy, like Venus and everybody. This is what Tara represents. Physicality, practical matters, tangible things, foundation, stability, slow, grounded, destructive, unique, solid nature, things you can only physically see, touch, smell, hear, taste. You know what I'm saying? Slow, stability. Alright. Foundation. Alright. Gender. The gender of Earth is female. Okay. It's exalted in Aries, which means Earth rises in Aquarius, and if the fall is in Leo. So Earth falls in Leo, right? Earth rules Taurus. Venus is co-ruler. Earth rules Taurus. Alright. The position of the Earth. Now, since it's the third rock from the sun, and since position, wherever the zodiac sign is, whatever zodiac sign the sun sign is in, the Earth act as a mirror, which will make your Earth sign opposite from the sun sign. So whatever your sun sign is, your Earth sign is opposite. But check this out. Example, if your sun sign is Taurus, then your Earth sign will be Scorpio. It's because you are on Earth while you see it from this perspective. You know what I'm saying? So the way we measure astrology and everything anyway is from an Earth perspective. So I had to come back on Earth and give the science on the Earth sign from y'all from the system that you guys are using. You know what I'm saying? But I have other systems, but that's not for here. Right now we need to get this in. We need to get this science into everybody's birth charts and natal chart readings and stuff like that. Okay. Now, so your Earth plays a part in your natal chart. It plays a big part. Remind you, your Earth sign does not act as an opposite. The relationship the sun has with the Earth is different than the effects of the zodiac sign opposing the other opposite sign relationship. So this is different. So say you a Gemini, and so automatically your opposite is Sagittarius. But I'm finna get into why it doesn't act as the things you lack and the other person have. This act as the things that you physically like or dislike. So let's get into that. In Earth case, you will define your earth sign by the things you like or dislike physically. Since dislike Venus is love. The more Venus you got in your chart and wherever Venus is at, that's what you love the most. Whatever Mars is at, that's what you're most passionate about. You know what I'm saying? Wherever Saturn at, that's where its heart is at. So wherever Earth at, that's where it's most physical at. So you like physical. So this is why this is a short term on a pyramid reason why you opposites attract. Because say you Cancer, your opposite gonna be Capricorn. So your earth sign is going to be Capricorn. So so you might not be able to be into a relationship with your opposite sign, or it might could work well, but the reason you attracted in the first place is because that's what you like physically. So they might have physical features you already like, or something that they do physically that you like that subconsciously you don't know. This is why you need to know your earth sign. Then you could get into back to regular with everything else, and then your opposite and stuff like that. But this earth signs doesn't act as an opposite. It acts as what you like physically, or what you might dislike physically. But it only act in that nature, because Earth represents physicality. Same ways other planets represents what they represent. Like Jupiter represents wisdom. So example, if Jupiter probably sextile Earth, you know what I'm saying, in your chart, then you're going to have a real physical way of learning things. You know what I'm saying? So when people might learn stuff, might be street smarts, you might be super book smart, because a book is something you could go grab physically. Other than just learning information from what people telling you, you got to go get a book to read it. You got to go to the school. So you might get all these scholarships and all these degrees and shit like that, because that's where your earth sign. This is why your earth sign is important. All right, let's get back to the matter at hand. All right, another example. If your sun sign is Virgo, then your earth sign will be Pisces. So you will like or dislike physical Pisces traits, depending on how your other planets is interacting. You know what I'm saying? Like you might love or hate feet. Since Pisces represents the feet of the body on the zodiac, then that's going to be where your mind is on. So as a Virgo, so you either going to like or dislike feet, but your mind is going to be on that. You have a lot of people who doesn't pay that too much attention. They don't know if they like it or not. They might just do whatever please their woman or please their man. You know what I'm saying? But your mind gonna be on it if you like it or dislike it. Whether the point of view is like that. This is how it works. You know what I'm saying? All right. You might love or hate stability. This is if your sun sign Virgo, your earth sign will be Pisces. All right. You might like swimming, writing down your dreams and making them real. You might like fish. You might like eating fish. You might like drinking alcohol. You have dreams of being perfect, but you be doubting yourself when you come back to reality. You know what I'm saying? Since the earth act as a mirror, as things you could manifest physically. This is why you have a body here and not a body on Saturn and not a body anywhere else. You have a body on Earth, because this is the power of physicality. It take every planet where they at was needed for everything to be where it's at. Just as much as humans to be on Earth, it's just as much as for war to be on Mars. Everything is needed for us to even exist. All right. Now, this is how you will read it in a natal chart. For all you famous astrologers out there, for all you metaphysics, for all you science teachers, for all you philosophy, everybody out there, now I'm going to give you my science of how to read it. Now you like, okay, you talked about it, how will we read it? This is how you will read it. Alright. Now, since the earth acts as a mirror to the sun, the things you can manifest physically. So when the sun is in late degrees, the earth is in early degrees of the opposite sign. So it's like a zigzag. So to say if the sun is in 1 degree, if the sun is in 2 degrees Aries, then your earth sign will be in 28 degrees Libra. You know what I'm saying? That's just like if your sun sign is 10 degrees Cancer, then your earth sign will be 20 degrees Capricorn. You see, it's like the zigzag. It's like they meet up, and they meet up at 15 degrees. If your sun sign lands on the 15 degrees, then your earth sign will be at 15 degrees. That's the only time they meet up. So if you're 15 degrees at any portion of at anywhere in your sign, then if your sun sign, only your sun sign, if your sun sign is at 15 degrees, then it's like a conjunction, sextile, grand trial, all at one time. You at good relation, and these people are really able to be the ones who marry the opposite sign. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe or kill the opposite sign. But it's to the extreme, because 15 is when they meet up, because it's like it's a zigzag. So it's like, another example, if your let me see, if your sun sign is 5 degrees Aquarius, then your earth sign will be 25 degrees Leo. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. If your sun sign was 5 degrees Leo, then your earth sign will be 25 degrees Aquarius. And then they only meet at 15 degrees of the opposite. So I call it's a sextile, grand trine, conjunction. It's like everything all together. So it doesn't act as an opposite, because it's the third rock from the sun. So as Earth. So I call that the direct double. That's what I call it, the direct double. So that's the name I'm giving it, the direct double. So when I see this on the internet and stuff like that, that's how I want people to explain it. It's called the direct double. When your sun sign is at a 15 degrees, when you want to do earth sign interpretations, this means you have a direct double, because your earth sign is also at 15 degrees. This is the only time they're at the same degree. You know what I'm saying? Which means your sun and earth sign is on the same page, and it meet together and meet up. They only meet up at the same at 15 degrees. They only meet up to each other at 15 degrees, and then they go the opposite ways again. But it's still, from our Earth perspective, it appears it's still in the same sign as the sun. So people who sun and earth sign land on 15 degrees means that the person's actions and vitality agrees with the physical process it takes to gain physical acceptance. You know what I'm saying? All right, people who have badly placed earth sign could hate their own physical attributes. Example: if Earth badly aspects Venus, then this person might hate their looks and physical appearance. You know what I'm saying? So if your earth sign is badly aspected, like, you know what I'm saying, you might got Saturn, you might got Saturn square Venus in the middle of your sun and your earth sign, and you might hate your appearance. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these people, see, by you knowing your earth sign, we'll be able to help a lot of people to stop getting plastic surgery. You know what I'm saying? This is why the earth sign is important. They could be beautiful people that keep doing stuff to their face. Like, look at Little Kim. Little Kim was beautiful, and she still kept doing stuff to her face. So she had a badly placed earth sign. But if she would have knew it, we would have been able to, you know what I'm saying? This is why this have to be in there. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be in there. You know what I'm saying? Flight boss doctrines, man. Alright, you're never going to hear this science nowhere else but here. So contact me, people. I need you to spread this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to know your earth sign, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really more based on degrees more than anything. Because you automatically gonna know your earth sign by knowing your sun sign. So, but knowing your sun sign degrees is gonna know your earth sign degrees until this science start getting put up and natal chart calculators and readings and shit. Or maybe I need to come up with my own website. But until then, you know what I'm saying, this is the basic way and the basic science on it, what I came up with. You know what I'm saying? But it's real though. You know what I'm saying? This is the mind of an Antares moon. I didn't come up with it. It's always been there. I'm just surprised that the science haven't been taught to the world. You know what I'm saying? Look, if Earth has great aspects or conjunctions to Venus, then no matter what the person look like, if the person look ugly or beautiful, it don't even matter. To themselves, they're going to love how they look. They're going to love all their physical attributes. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, That's just a quick example of how your earth sign works. You know what I'm saying? Early degree earth signs will be stronger physically and weaker mentally. And late degrees will be stronger mentally and weaker physically. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, if you're in a late degree of your sun sign, then you already know about that. Astrologers already know about 29 degrees once you land there, or 22 degrees, how much they can impact on a person's life. Well, so that means you're like the grandfather of that zodiac sign, and getting ready to put yourself in situations of the next zodiac sign. So you might put yourself in a lot of situations that you can't handle because you fully evolved and don't like to handle manners of the situations that you already mastered, because you're the grandfather of the sign of late degrees you're in as a sun sign. So you find yourself being excited by the next sign situations and put yourself in a lot of them type of situations, and until you learn how to handle it as the sign you are, you will always find yourself in situations like, why you can't, I feel like I can't handle it. But so since your that's late degree sun sign, your earth sign going to be an early degree. So this is how you can coincide with the science that's already out there with this science I'm bringing. Because when your sun sign is in late degrees, that means you pretty much covered that sign and pretty much got that sign down packed. So you're going to be you're going to be strong. You're going to be stronger mentally on that sign, but you're going to be weaker physically because you're putting yourself in situations of the next sign. This is the basic terms of what they mean, and how being a late degree of a sign can either help you or hurt you. But see, a late degree sun sign, like I said, from my science, that means the earth sign is the same, is the opposite sign, but it's the early degree. So it's the early exact number of degree, and they only meet at 15. So if you're at 29 degrees sun sign, whatever, you're going to be 1 degree earth sign ever. You know what I'm saying? So reason why you're going to be when you're an early degree earth sign, that's why you're stronger physically, because you already know mentally about that sign. And then and vice versa, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be weaker mentally but stronger physically because your earth sign is in late degrees. So your earth sign is going to be putting itself in certain situations that you might not be strong enough to put yourself in, but you're going to be a baby in the zodiac sign, early sun sign degree that you in. When you're in an early sun sign degree, you're going to be a late degree earth sign of the opposite sign, but you're going to be early of the other sign. So you're going to that make it better for you to be stronger mentally but weaker physically, because you're going in situations doing this, doing that, third at the high it could peak, but you might be weak physically. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is just a quick example of the science that's already out there and showing it how it equates to this science to let you know it's real. Alright. Now, you want to get into like a it's even a Greek science out there on the earth. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why people even don't acknowledge this. See, but it never been wrote down in scriptures, like you know how like the Bible was and stuff like that. Like I'm solely bringing y'all information from where I live at, and it's not on earth. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this too. Tara, daughter of the sun and sister of Venus. Friends, Saturn, Venus, and the sun. So anytime you got a sextile or even maybe a square or something like that, it's kind of okay when Earth is kind of okay when it's in the sphere reality of Saturn, Venus, and the sun. You know what I'm saying? And remember, Venus is the second rock from the sun, and Earth is the third rock from the sun. So they're sisters. You know what I'm saying? And Saturn is, that's another video. I'm going to get into that. But right now, friends, Saturn, Venus, and the sun. Enemies, Mercury, Mars, Pluto, Neptune. You know what I'm saying? So anytime it's even, you can have a good conjunction, but sextile or square might be a little iffy because Mercury is the first rock from the sun, right? So you got a little jealousy going on right there with Earth. You know what I'm saying? Earth Tara, Gaia, whatever you want to call it. It's a jealousy factor. So even if they're on a good terms, just like say you have a brother and a sister, right? And then you feel like your brother or sister is being favored more than you, right? So even when, say, a day happened that your father or your mother decides to give y'all both the same thing, just to show y'all that y'all both, just to show y'all that y'all they appreciate both of y'all equally. Okay, the person that feel like the other person get favored is going to appreciate it, but at that time everything is cool, it's a good day, but at that time that person still got in his mind that, but the only reason they did that was because they think I feel like this way anyway. So you know what I'm saying, that's the relationship that Mercury and Earth has with each other. So even if it's in a sextile or grand trine with each other, Earth still has that aspect of, you know what I'm saying, kind of not trusting it that much though. So you have to watch that. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for people to know their earth signs, and I can give people earth signs interpretations all day. You know what I'm saying? All right, neutral is the moon, Jupiter, and Uranus. We all know the moon is exalted in Taurus. Earth rules Taurus, so this is why it's neutral. So it could be a good or a bad thing depending on what the interactions where the other planets is at that day. You know what I'm saying? Neutral, Jupiter and the moon. You know what I'm saying? We all know Jupiter is exalted. Don't even quote me in this. I'm not even gonna say that. I was gonna say Jupiter is exalted in motherfucking Cancer, but don't even quote me on that. But you know, neutral is the moon, and then Uranus, neutral. So moon, Jupiter, Uranus, neutral with Earth. Enemies: Mercury, Mars, Pluto, Neptune. Enemies of Earth. Friends: Saturn, Venus, Sun. Friends of Earth. And that's a whole separate video. I'm gonna get into this though. Okay, Earth rules over Taurus. Earth rises in Aquarius and falls in Leo. So if you wanna mix this in religious terms, any religion doctrine that come up have no choice but to base it on this kind of story, because they only basing it on the sun. So if you want to base it on religious terms, you can look at it like this: Christ, as the sun in the sky, has dominion and influences over earth and mankind in the Leo time of the year. Right or wrong, you know what I'm saying? Because we see the sun in the sky or whatever like that, so that's Christ. Christ is risen the highest. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Now, the practical and ego-physical lower self of mankind turns its back on Christ, and mankind acts as if they are the most high and rise above the sun, Christ. Now, this happened in the Bible, but you know what astrologers might do? They always